Okay, we're on YouTube. So,
all right. Hold on a second. I gotta make sure. There we go. Okay. Well, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to our. Hang on. Am I looking at? Yeah, January 16th commission meeting. Chairman Land is going to be a few minutes late, so he asked that we get things started without him. So we'll start with a call to order and a roll call. Steve Cooley, Commissioner for District 4.
Tim Johnson, Commissioner for District 4.
Jason Vanderveen, Fire Chief.
And I'm John Ehrenholtz. I'm a Division Chief Operations.
All right, welcome. Okay, do we have anybody? Next item on the agenda is for the public comment. Chief, do we got anybody waiting for any kind of comments?
No, sir.
Okay, great.
Nope,
all right.
No
now okay, so do we open and then close that period, or do we just leave it open in case somebody jumps on?
You can just move on. Yeah.
Okay, we'll just move on. Okay, next item on the agenda is approval of the consent agenda. All matters within the consent agenda have been distributed to each member of the Board of Commissioners for review, are considered routine, and will be enacted by one motion of the board with no separate discussion. If separate discussion is desired, that item may be removed from the consent agenda and placed on the regular agenda by request. So I'm assuming everyone's had a chance to look at the consent agenda. Anybody have any questions or want to discuss and move any of those agenda items to our regular agenda before we approve?
I don't have any.
Okay. We do have a quorum, which I didn't note. So both Commissioner Johnson and I are here. So I would entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I would move to approve the consent agenda as presented in the January package.
And I will second that. Any discussion before we vote? All right, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. Two commissioners voted aye. Motion carries. Consent agenda is approved. All right. Moving on to the next agenda item, unfinished business. We had a meeting with Liz Loomis and her team. Do we want to talk about that a little bit, Chief, or do you want to start? Sure. Or I can? Yeah. You want to summarize real quick, and I'll jump in if I think of something.
Yeah, it was. We had a good meeting, lasted about a little over an hour, and really went through kind of the first steps, kind of the divvying up of some of the work to be done. Really, they have Liz outlined her outreach plan, which is basically going to be almost I would call it like a one-to-one district board with the constituents in the form of mailers to their homes. So direct communication, and then outlined what she needs or what her team needs to get that letter off the ground. So it's data from us, from admin, some maps, a few JPEGs, kind of the beginnings of putting together a professional looking outreach, and then and really that was kind of the summary of the meeting was just getting that. She kind of previewed a letter that she had written or that they had written, putting together kind of the beginnings of it. We went through it, made some edits, made some changes, and yeah, we were off and running.
Remind me, Chief, now, is she sending that document back to us for review and comment, or what's the next step for us as commissioners?
Yeah, it'll be to you guys, to the board for kind of the final thumbs up before it goes out.
Right. Okay. Yeah, and just to reiterate what you said, that document, particularly for Tim's edification here, is kind of like the Chief said, sort of an overview of our point of view and the message we want to send to the public, and just basically an outline of the effort we're undertaking. So yeah, we'll look forward to receiving that from her. Yes, I agree. It was a good meeting. I'm excited about the things that I think she's going to be able to, she and her team are going to be able to do for us. So, yeah, Chief, please let me, Tim, or Mark know if you need anything at all from us as far as gathering some of that data.
Okay.
Happy to help.
So, I got about half the stuff that they need already and told them that either Tuesday or Wednesday I'd get the rest of it. Was just sitting here kind of doing some adding and getting the data together. So, hey, Commissioner Cooley, your mic is pretty scratchy. I don't know if it's
okay. Yeah, let me see what I can do here.
That's much better.
Oh, good. I'll just put my face closer to my phone. Maybe that'll
you're
help.
Really close. That's right.
Okay. Yeah. Hello.
Hi,
everybody. Yeah.
Right.
All right. Thank you for telling me.
Yep.
Okay. So let me go back to the agenda here real quick. Make sure. Anything else? Any questions about that, Tim? Do you want more information about that meeting?
I'll just mention that I appreciate the chief sending along the recording of the meeting. I did have a chance to listen to the audio recording of it, and sounded like a really good meeting, really productive in terms of working on the key messages that we want to send out in that initial letter. So that all sounded good. I had a few kind of questions and comments. I'll save them for when we see the draft of the letter, but it also sounds like they're very well organized. It sounds like they're going to put together a schedule for us to kind of outline different steps. So yeah, I was impressed by what I heard in the meeting.
Great. Yes, that's great. Well, good. More to come on that. All right.
Here comes Mark.
Oh, great. You there, Mark? All right. Well, let me look at the agenda and we'll move on to the next item as he signs in. Well, actually, I can wait just a minute and see if he has any comment on that last issue we're talking about.
Which was?
We were just finishing up the unfinished business, the meeting with Liz and her team.
Oh.
So Tim just said he had heard the audio and listened to what they had to say, and they're outlining some documents for us, and particularly a letter that kind of summarizes what our position is and what this effort to get the word out is all about. So that should be coming out to us. And we were about to move on to the next agenda item.
Great, thank you. No, and we already covered this, but my question was the plan to the next meeting kind of make it an open public meeting so that we could all participate, or were we just going to have one person?
It's up to you. If you'd rather keep it one point of contact, I can continue to record them and send them out if that works best, or we can do it as a work session where the whole board would be there.
Yeah, we did not talk about that specifically, Mark, for the next meeting, but as Jason said, we can do it whatever way we want to do it. So
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think it's always helpful to get information like that firsthand. And if it turns out that me or Tim or you can't make the meeting, I mean, nothing lost, but we might as well be prepared.
That sounds good. Yeah, I like the idea of all of us being there.
Okay. We'll get it posted as a work session. Yep.
Good.
Great. Tim, did I hear you say, sorry, Mark, are you taking over the meeting now? I'll be quiet if you are.
No, first of all, thank you for stepping in, because I had an appointment that ran long. But no, I'm happy to let you keep rolling if you're okay with that.
Sure. Absolutely. I don't think we have a whole lot left on the agenda, but
yeah.
Anyway, Tim, I heard you agree with that sentiment that having an open meeting where all three of us have the opportunity to attend these updates would be good.
Yes, I agree with that. I'd like to be in on the February meeting and provide some input directly.
All right. We'll make sure that word gets to Liz, and we'll make sure we make that happen. And Chief, we need to put out something. Are we just going to do it during our next regular meeting, or?
No, she has a specially scheduled meeting, so we'll make that a special meeting.
Okay, sounds good. All right. Any other comments or discussion about the meeting with Liz and her team?
Oh, you're muted there, Commissioner Cooley.
Okay. Sorry about that.
That's all right.
All right. So back to the agenda. And I think we only have one item. No other, just any other discussion about Liz and her team? All right. Well, that takes care of all the unfinished business. New business is board officer elections. So I believe we're going to, between the three of us commissioners, we're going to decide who's going to be the chairman and the next vice chairman. Is that right?
Yeah. Can I tee this up?
You can.
Yeah. So essentially, I guess I'm ready to and happy to pass the torch. If one of you wanted to step into the chairman's role, I feel like I've been doing it for a couple of years now, and kind of was in a spot where I needed to help with Jason's help and the staff's help to sort of navigate us through some unstable times. I feel like we're in a good place now. We have a really good, competent board, and yeah, I'm ready to just basically step back if one of you would be able and willing to take over that role.
Great. Thank you, Mark. And I'm sure I speak for Tim when I say that I thank you for all your efforts over the last couple of years as the chairman. And as you said, keeping things moving along and all the balls bouncing well. We've gone through some tough times. So thank you very much for being our chairman.
You betcha.
For the last couple of years. Yeah. And I'll just go next then, I guess. I'm certainly willing to take my turn as chairman. So I would defer to Tim if Tim has a strong desire to be the chairman. That's no problem. But if you guys are in need of my services, I will serve as the chairman if that's the best thing for us all. Tim, what are your thoughts?
I think you would do a wonderful job, Steve. You mostly have quite a bit more experience than I have, and I'd be happy to provide or at least give my nomination towards you for the chairman position.
Okay. All right. We also, Mark, do you want to talk about the vice chair? Is that something you also would be glad to not have because you've been the chairman?
I mean, that one actually, I'm ambivalent towards that because I think, it is important to back up in case the chairman, of course, can't make a meeting.
Yeah.
But Tim, again, if you'd like to sort of step into that role, and if you feel you can lead a meeting, if Steve is absent, I have no strong desire to be the vice chair, but I could certainly do it if you don't feel you're ready for that yet.
I appreciate that, Mark. I am happy to step into that role.
Great.
Hey.
Sounds
Okay.
like we've nominated you for the vice chairmanship then.
Yeah. And I'll second one of the nominations. I'll second Tim's nomination. Do we need to make formal nominations, or can we just agree that?
I think what would be customary would be once we've all agreed on the roles, we make a motion sort of that would just cover the different offices for 2023.
Okay.
Yeah. One at a time. So
I think we can do it all in one.
One motion. Okay.
Okay.
Is there I can't remember if there was a third. Jason, is there traditionally a third title? We don't really have a treasurer or anything, so secretary, yeah. Well, then I would move for the commissioner's offices for 2023 that Steve Cooley would serve as chairman and Tim Johnson would serve as vice chairman.
I will second that motion.
All right. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion about the roles? All right. Hearing no further discussion, we'll go ahead and vote. All those in favor of that current slate of officers that Commissioner Land stated, say aye.
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 Oh, I should have said effective immediately.
Effective immediately, yeah. We didn't talk about the relief date yet. Yeah. All right. I think I heard all three ayes. So motion carries. New commission officer roles are me as chairman, Tim as vice chairman, and Mark as valued member.
Thank you.
All right.
If I could, real quick, Commissioner
Yes.
Cooley,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Johnson, congratulations. Just wanted to publicly thank Mark from the chief's office for him coming in at a pretty, I would say, turbulent time, and getting his feet on the ground really quickly, and really being an important piece of change that needed to happen. I feel humbly needed to happen. I mean, you guys are a board of elected officials, but I really appreciate what he brought to the district, the leadership, the stability, and kind of the vision moving forward. So, because I had a lot of sleepless nights and took a lot of, tums in the preceding years. So thank you very much, Commissioner Land. I truly appreciate your leadership.
You're welcome. Happy to do it.
All right.
Just one other piece of new
Yep.
business real quick. I wanted to introduce John Ehrenholtz. He's the operations chief. He started in earnest in November, and he's kind of been underwater until now. Interestingly, just part of his history or background in history is he was actually a paid personnel at Fire District 4 when District 21 and North Whatcom came together under contract. So he lives in District 4 as well. So he's really got a unique perspective on District 4 going forward, and I think that will help the leadership team inside the district with moving forward as we work 21 and 4 together towards a permanent marriage. So yeah, I'll let him go ahead and introduce himself.
Yeah, hi. It's nice to put. I just wanted you guys to be able to put the name with the face. I'm John Ehrenholtz. I've been with District 4. Actually started in 1997 as a volunteer. Did 10 years of volunteering before I got hired on as a captain in 2007. And then when we merged, I just kind of went back down to a lieutenant, and then made my way back up to captain, and now division chief. So obviously I'm excited about this new position I'm in and helping us, move forward. And I just wanted to make sure that you guys knew who I was. And as chief mentioned, I do have a long history with District 4, and I oftentimes am the guy that everybody's asking, well, how'd you do this? When did this happen? So just know that I can help answer some of those questions that you might have. And if there's anything that I can provide operations wise, whether it be in my reports or anything else that you feel would be helpful to you as you move forward with this process of going for a levy lift, et cetera. I just wanted you to know that I was here for you. So.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Good to
John.
see you, John. Congrats on your new assignment, your promotion.
Thanks.
And be looking forward to working with you.
Yeah, it's nice to be in the office, I think.
We'll try to make it as good for you as we can.
Okay, thank you.
But yes, looking forward to working with you. Great. All right. Any other new business before we move on? Okay. Not hearing anything. We have any correspondence in the packet, Chief? I didn't see any.
Didn't see any. No, sir.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And then I guess all that's left to be done is board meeting attendance for February 13th. Everybody's still good for February 13th? All right.
Excuse me.
No problem. Okay. And moving on to the next agenda item, that's to talk about anything that right now we have in mind for the next meeting. Anybody have anything specific they want to make sure is on the agenda for the next meeting? We'll, of course, provide if I can't remember when the next meeting with Liz's team is, but we'll of course make sure we update everybody on what's going on with that effort. Anything else?
I think that meeting's a couple days before our regular meeting, correct?
It is correct.
Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you. Good. Well, we'll look forward to that.
I do. Sorry, I do have one thing. Jason, was there ever any kind of reaction or acceptance or discussion of the letter that our district provided, District 21, in response to kind of our plan, you know, our strategy moving forward, ability to pay our bills?
Oh yeah. You know what? Yes, there was smiles all around, but you know what? There's never an official response. So I will get that going. And yep.
No, not looking for one. The fact that you were at the meeting and there were smiles all around, that's probably good enough for me.
Okay.
Yeah. Agreed. Sounds good. All right. And we will continue to keep the District 21 board informed as our effort moves forward. So, all right. And that's it. I think that's the last item on the agenda for our meeting. Everybody remember to head to the fire station as soon as you can to sign your documents. I will do so here within the hour. Anything else?
There is one, when it comes to signing of documents, there's a piece of paper on top of the folder. It's yellow. It's from the county. It's not an official, like, it has to do with a personnel piece from last year. And it just needs all three of your signatures on it. It's not a voucher. There's no cost. There's no anything like that. It's just it's like what do you call it? Like a personnel action form kind of thing. Just need to close something out from last year. So that's
Gotcha.
That's the yellow sheet on top of there. So.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Well, thank you everybody for coming. John, thanks again and welcome to the team. And without any other agenda items, we stand adjourned.